Mhm.
briefly say The Ultimatum is a reality TV show where couples, so in a couple, one of them wants to get married and the other doesn't. And so the one who wants to get married gives them the ultimatum of either we get married or we break up. And so
Mhm.
how they test that is by going into with four other couples where it's in the same situation, and then they break up, they date for a bit, and then they couple up again with other people who they think they match with better, and then they decide whether or not they're going to marry this new person or the original person.
Yeah.
Drive, I mean, it's the best bad television there is.
Oh my God.
But
Just hearing you explain it is absurd to me. I'm like, what?
I
You
told,
just made that up. You just made that up, didn't you? I'm like, that's absurd. That's completely
what's wrong
absurd.
with you? I told JT about this, and he was like, you kind of just slightly went down in my esteem.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, yeah.
Here, yeah. No, but here's the thing, is that mm, how do I break this? How do I even break this down? It's like, first of all, I feel like if you if you have to go ahead and be with another person to know whether or not the person you're with right now is the right person for you, then that person is likely not the right one for you. Because, like, why would you ever want to, like, it's not a healthy way to discover if that person's right for you. I feel like it's such a toxic way to do it. I feel like you're confusing yourself. It's just an excuse to be with someone else. It's just, uh, I don't know. I feel like it's just not the right way to solve an issue. And if you feel the need to be with someone else, then that's sort of your answer right over there. And I feel like I spoke to my boyfriend about this not long ago because I heard a YouTuber that I follow say something about this, which is completely true. Where I feel like where in the past, when I used to date and be with the wrong people, I would constantly worry about whether or not there's someone better out there for me. And I'd constantly feel that fear of missing out. Like there's someone else better for me out there. And and it's like so hard for me to let go and settle down with this one person because I'm scared of like what else is out there. And with my current boyfriend, which is like, again, the healthiest relationship I've ever had, I feel like I'm so content and I'm like not even thinking about it. It's not even crossing my mind the need to see what else is out there. Because I mean, obviously, there's more people out there. It's like never ending, but like I just don't feel it. There's no desire in me. I feel like that's like if you don't have that, if you feel the need to see what else is out there, and if you don't not content with the right person, you feel like you're settling for this person, then they're likely not it for you. So that was like the thing that irks me the most about this show. Like that switching couple thing is like, oh, so ridiculous to me.
Yay! Yay to you. I agree with what you just said.
Hmm.
It's kind of goes back to what we said last week, an hour ago.
Yeah.
Um, it's just think about what you're feeling. It's not the person. It's just, well, where are you now? And it's also making it okay of just, I'm not sure that this person is the right person for me,
Hmm.
and that it can be okay. And then, but you don't need to go through this whole dramatic television thing. I saw
Yeah.
this. Can't remember his name, but there's this guy from Love Island who is not Love Island, Love is Blind, who is suing Netflix for just like lack of duty of care and just like all of this. And in his speech, he says if they cared about love, if Netflix really cared about love, they would have psychologists or therapists or coaches
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
on the set helping you, and they don't. And it just
But of
goes
course they don't. Like, what do you expect? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but like, what in the world do you expect when you come to a reality show? That's exactly what it is.
exactly. And I think the fact that he says it just shows that it's fine. I mean, we are mature women who are allowed to enjoy bad television, but I think
Hmm.
everybody needs to know this is just none of this is real. They all want to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to go there for real love, they are absolutely misguided. and it's the
Yeah.
producers taking advantage of misguided people, which it can happen. But watch this thinking, don't watch this thinking, oh, this is how I'm going to get somebody to marry me. That's not how it works.
No.
And what drive? I mean, it drive. I love it. I hate that it drives me insane. I hate that I love that it drives me insane. That's the thing. I hate
Yeah.
that I love that it drives me insane. But the first thing that Nick and Vanessa Lachey, because everybody knows that they are the perfect example. And
Oh,
this,
for sure.
right? If you can't tell from our voices, we are being sarcastic.
Yes.
They say, everybody says, all the studies, all the therapists, all the psychiatrists, everything, everybody says that if you want somebody to do something, an ultimatum is not the way to do it. They say it
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the show, everybody says it, but hey, we're doing it anyway. And I'm like, uh,
I that's another issue that I have with this is that an ultimatum is not going to get you what you want. It's just going to pressure the other person into something that they're not ready for or don't want. And if you want that and they don't, then that's fine. And you don't have to be with them, or you just need to be a bit more patient with them. But putting an ultimatum is just going to pressure them. And I feel like that's the faster track to losing that person, or to losing that relationship and making it crumble, because an ultimatum is just putting up an immense pressure to where that person is either going to settle even though they're not ready, or they're going to say, then fine, then I'm not ready, then no, then bye.
it,
Or they're just going to create this complicated aspect of your relationship where you're both just becoming tense and crazy. So,
yeah, it builds on what we were saying last time of, you know, he'll do whatever he wants. No, what was it that he said? Like, he'll, if he wants to, he will, or he'll make it happen. What was that weird?
oh, if you wanted to, he would.
If he wanted to, he would. That's exactly what we were talking about last time.
Yeah,
If the person you are with wanted to get married, he or she would. If they are not willing to
yeah,
get married, then they're not, they either don't want to or they're not ready. And if you
yeah,
are not ready to get married, well, I want to add to, I'm fine with people who want to get married, but I don't feel that it's the biggest proof of love. Like, I don't really get
yeah.
the whole thing. So I would say to the person who wants to get married, do you want to get married or do you want to be with a person that you love? But whatever.
Yeah.
If we accept that getting married is this whole big, huge, important thing, then then they are obviously not ready. You obviously are. Move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't force it. You can't force someone to make a decision in a certain time frame that's only right for you.
Yeah.
And and yeah, I feel like if someone really wants, if they want to marry you, you're not going to have to issue an ultimatum. But you also have to understand that they may not be in the same timeline as you, or maybe they're just not as ready as you are. Maybe they just need more time. Maybe they just need you to be patient with them. And again, pressuring someone will only make them make a bigger mistake. And and I feel like when you not only put an ultimatum and you also like sort of switching couples, you're like you're making everything so much more complicated. Because of course, when you go to someone new and someone fresh, where you don't have all the history and pressure, and obviously it's going to be different and it's going to be more pink, and it's like comparing like a um a divorced couple to a couple that's just starting to date or in the honeymoon phase or whatever. It's just not the same stage. So of course you're gonna go to something shiny and bright and new. It's gonna seem different and it's gonna make you question your own relationship. And then when you go back to your relationship, you sort of now comparing it, and it's sort of like, or also the opposite. If you're if you're now dating someone new who's wrong for you, because obviously you're going to that with a bunch of random people, like how, like, obviously they're not going to be the right person for you, or less chances are. And then you go back to your relationship, even if it's not right for you, of course you're going to think it is, because you just spent a week with someone who you don't even know. So
Yeah, it's exactly, it's different stages. And in the last episode, we were talking about getting to know someone and different stages and who you think you are and things like that. And although we said, be genuine and if you're allowed to be upset and things like that. But at the beginning, it's
yeah.
always a bit pinker and rosier than
Mm-hmm.
further down the line. But it's also very fragile. But if you're comparing, I had a week long flirt with somebody, and so it's so nice with him and things like that. And I've been with you for 2 to 7 years, and we're not at that stage
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Yeah, you're not at that stage anymore. And I would add that if you want to be having that kind of pink, fluffy feelings, you can work on that with your current partner because you had that before. You know what that looks like, and you
Yeah.
can manufacture that. But it's just, I mean, but there's one. I think it's one of them says it. Roxanne, the entrepreneur. Is it Roxanne?
Yeah. It's
She
Roxanne.
she's. I mean, I don't know if I like any of them for now because I compare her to Raven from Love Is Blind, but I love
Mm-hmm.
Raven. She was great. But Roxanne, I'm not sure yet. But she says something along the lines of, I'm not against marriage. I don't know if he's the one, and so we're here, and so it's going to be the right opportunity. And you can tell that
Yeah.
he's kind of desperate to stay with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just very aware of just, well, I want to get married. I just want it to be the right person, or I'm not sure that I do, but I'm not sure that it's him. And so, what are you doing here? You are making sense. The only thing that's not making sense is the fact that you are here. If you're aware that he's
Yeah.
probably not the right person, why are you here? Why are you putting this poor guy through this?
Yeah. And you're just confusing yourself and him, and it's just putting yourself in even deeper shit, in my opinion. You're like sort of taking a complicated situation and making it even more complicated, which I expect that, that's exactly what Netflix wants to do. They want to create a conflict, and they want to create interesting situations and conflicts and whatever. But like, if you're really coming for love, and if you're really coming to sort out your relationship and figure out if marriage is the right thing for you or not, then first of all, doing it on live TV is not very helpful. Putting yourself on the spot and the person you're with on the spot is just going to make you make the wrong decision out of stress. And switching up couples is just going to create a comparison that isn't healthy in any way.
Because
And it's sort of just an, sorry?
no, go.
No, I was going to say it's just creating another dimension in your relation. Like, you're sort of confusing yourself with another person. And if you want to be with another person, then again, that's your answer. Simple as that.
Absolutely. And you know, there's different people will give different advice about how long you should wait before getting into a new relationship, etc. And again,
Yeah.
it's that advice needs to be tailored to the person each time.
Mm-hmm.
However, two people who broke up the night before, that doesn't work. That can never work. How
Yeah.
I'm
It's
curious.
ridiculous.
I'm curious to know from the previous season of the Ultimatum, like who, like, where are these relationships now?
We can look it up as we talk
Yeah, look
about
it up.
it.
Look it up while I kind of
I'm gonna
while you're looking. But oh yes, we accept. I mean, I think a lot of people accept